Meditations 4, Descartes is going to talk about how it's the case that we can have falsity. So where did the ideas of true and falsity come from? More importantly, like how do we err? Like how do we make mistakes? This is an error theory. At the end of the last meditation, Descartes talks about like the light of nature. And I saved it for here because I kind of wanted to talk about faculties. So light of nature is a faculty. So nature for Descartes, he makes this distinction. Nature is just like, the things that science can talk about, right? Light of nature is a faculty. It's the faculty that allows us to get the foundation of justification. This is important, right? Remember, Descartes' a skeptic. He starts out as an external world skeptic. And for him, he needs to rebuild all of the knowledge that we have on beliefs that we can find and point to the justification for. He's a foundationalist, right? And he thinks that this is the faculty that allows us to do that, allows us to get that foundation. And he's going to talk about other capacities here, particularly the faculty of knowledge. Sorry, I just blanked on that one. Faculty of knowledge and free will. Okay, so here's the thing. God is perfect. He's morally good. We already established in the first meditation, he is so good he wouldn't deceive us. He also wouldn't give us faculties that could be misused. Okay, that could fail. That could be less than perfect. So theoretically, we could get perfect knowledge. We could increase this until it's perfect. So it's not, we don't assent, we don't judge things to be true or false erroneously because our faculty of knowledge fails us. Okay? Because that's a God-given faculty. That's in our nature by God. It is caused by God. So that can't fail us. And free will can't fail us either. It's also a faculty of God. He says, so just a real quick on like what free will is. It's the freedom, it's the ability to choose or not choose. Right, and he goes on to talk about like, it doesn't matter if you're pushed a particular way by God's intervention, you still have the ability to choose or not choose. Right? And he has this long paragraph on page 21 on the first column. Gives the definition of free will, and he says, hence this indifference which I feel when I am not swayed to one side rather than the other by lack of reasons is the lowest grade of liberty, and rather evinces a lack of negation in knowledge than a perfection of will. For if I have always recognized clearly what is true and good, I should never have trouble in deliberating as to what judgment or choice I should make, and then I should be entirely free without ever being indifferent. From all this I recognize that the power of will which I have received from God is not itself the source of errors. So if just like the ability not to choose a particular way because we're indifferent is all that it took to avoid error, that's the lowest form of liberty. That doesn't take a lot of effort. Right? So, but when we actually act on our like we actually choose, not choose, like we deliberately do that, that seems to be really powerful. Like this is our greatest power. So it seems like this can't be the source of our error. What happens then, right? This is when we're, by the way, he's actually very explicit in this. We're closest to God. This is our feature that is closest to God. This free will, because God has infinite free will. Right? And free will for him, it can't be divided into other parts. We're not getting a portion of free will. We're getting free will as it is. So this is our greatest power. So what happens is that the will, he says this, page 21, column 2, whence then come my errors? They come from the sole fact that since the will is much wider in its range encompassed than the understanding, I do not restrain it within the same bounds, but extend it also to things which I do not understand. And as the will is of itself indifferent to these things, it easily falls into error and sin, and chooses the evil for the good and the false to be true. So what he's saying here is like, the will isn't like this thing that's capable itself of choosing what it's applied to. It just does its thing. we have to act. We have to use it, right? So the error is an act of using our will. So this is important, right? Error is not, so back up. We have a nature given to us by God. It allows us to do a lot of things. These faculties given to us by God, these powers, they aren't the issue. The issue is in our use of them. It's the actual act of judging, right? An idea can't be false here. It's another thing. Ideas can't be false. They don't have a truth value. It's only judging that does. Right? This is a thing we have. So the intellect does. It just has ideas. When we apply our will and we act on our will to judge something, an idea is true or false, that's when we can err. It is the action itself. Not in the faculty, but the act of using the faculty that creates the error for Descartes. Oh no. Did I miss the conception of ideas already?